Hi Pisces, and welcome to your reading for July 2019. My name is Melanie. This is a general reading for Pisces Sun, Moon and Rising sign people. So given it's general, just, take what you like and leave the rest. So diving right in, I use 5 cards for a monthly spread. The first card representing the past, any past issues, past energy that might show up this month that are relevant. You have the Tower card. The second card along representing the current issues of the month of July, current sort of situation. You have the Queen of Cups. The third card being about any possible obstacles this month. You have the Two of Cups card. The fourth card representing useful tools this month, the Five of Wands, and finally the outcome card for the month is the Justice card. And that single card there lying down on its own from a different deck of cards, which I use like more like oracle cards. That sort of represents the overall theme for the month, and that card is called Gumnut Blossom, and that's about contentment. And I'll be reading specifically about that card from a little booklet thing at the end of the reading. So let's just dive right in, starting with the first card there, the past. And some sort of energies of the past that may be weaving their way into this month and are relevant for some reason. So you have the Tower card. So, boy. It looks like some event in your past was a very significant ending that had to happen. The Tower card is kind of a card of disaster, really, of change, sort of, and endings being forced upon you, whether you wanted that to happen or not. It's a card of upheaval, of your world being shattered, potentially things happening way beyond your control, sort of chaos, but after chaos there is calmness, there is a new beginning, but there's been some sort of big disruption and sort of shattering of your world in a way that felt otherworldly, that felt, you can see in that card there's like flashes of lightning coming from the sky, obviously forcing people to jump for their lives. There is a fire coming out of the tower. The crown there is being flung off the top of the tower, kind of like losing your head. So this has sort of been some sort of big dramatic change for your own good that seemed at the time to be disastrous and awful, but it's been about the universe saying, hey, you need to change. Old structures need to be broken down, new things need to be built, new routines, new structures, and you've kind of almost been forced into that somehow. Of course, though, having a sense of lack of control over external events. What we can control, and hopefully what you have managed to control, is how you cope with and how you deal with the situation that feels like it's just kind of been thrust upon you in a really dramatic way. Even if things have seemed terrible and destructive and disastrous and catastrophic, it's how we cope with those things that really get us through such events, whether we fall apart or we kind of stay afloat, we tread water, we seek the help and support that we need, and we pick ourselves up. And we look around us and go, okay, after the dust has settled from the collapse of whatever structure in your life had to collapse, what are we left with now? We've got to clear the earth, we've got to clear the ground, we've got to start again, and we need to kind of reassess, or perhaps there has been some sort of reassessing of your life or something significant in your life, whether that is a relationship, work, friendships, something that you've been working on, possibly I'm thinking a really terrible relationship breakup that you didn't see coming, perhaps the death of someone, certainly the death and the ending of something in your life that felt just damn awful at the time, that you perhaps didn't see coming, or you were desperately hoping wasn't going to happen and has happened anyway. So moving on though to the current month. So we'll see if that tower looks like something to do with that event in the past is a factor sort of coming into this month. So the energy of the current month is the Queen of Cups card. So the Queen of Cups can be an actual person in your life. Could be female, doesn't have to be. Could be a water sign, doesn't have to be. Water signs being Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This could be a person in your life, or if not you, who is very emotionally secure, very calm, compassionate. There's a real depth of feeling with this card, and feeling in control of one's emotions. So I'm sort of wondering if you've gotten through this tower event in your life, and now certainly in this month there's kind of a much more calm emotional state, that's much more mature, and very affectionate in a way. So whether there is affection around you this month and a warmth, or if there is some sort of person in your life who embodies that energy again, whether that's male or female, but it's very nurturing, compassionate, wise, devoted, an older person, possibly an older woman, helping you out, that's showing you real tender love, real support, someone you can trust, and either someone who's balancing emotion and intuition well, or that you are this month. The caution with this card is that you can be a little bit overly romantic, a little bit prone to perhaps mood swings if not handled well, or some sort of delusions of romantic kind of blissful delusions. But I think this card is saying that there is a degree of calmness now after the storm, and connection to one's emotions, or connections to a person who is emotionally really supporting you well this month. And there's sort of a real sense of sort of nurturing, coming home to sort of the bosom of the wise mother, wise kind of nurturing energy there that is very supportive, and more sort of in control with one's feelings. Moving on to the third card, representing what may be an obstacle this month, you have the Two of Cups card, which is, I think, a really interesting card to have in the obstacle position, because the Two of Cups is a beautiful card, a lovely card of love, of deep soul connections, of real, friendships or blossoming love of some sort, partnerships, attractions, joy, sharing, a real couple, coming together, a compromise, that often we need to compromise in a relationship, but a deep, a harmonious kind of match, and two hearts really coming together. Teamwork, deep connections, an open kind of loving exchange. So what does that mean that this card is in the position of an obstacle this month? So I thought that was interesting, next to the Queen of Cups energy, and here we have another Cups card. I think it may mean, are you a little bit too in your own kind of little bubble there of deep connection with someone? That there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but is that blocking you off to other people in your life, or other support systems? Are you just sort of blindly looking at each other there and a bit cut off from, like I said, the world around you? Is there a little bit of romantic delusion around, or illusion around a relationship this month, whether that is a romantic relationship or some other relationship that feels very deep, and that you're kind of really connected and you can really trust this person? However, are you too much? Yeah, I'm just thinking kind of in a bubble about that, and a bit kind of disconnected and cut off from other things, or too much in an emotional heart kind of space. And it sounds weird to kind of say too much in a heart space, but of course we need to balance that up with head, with connection to the universe, with trusting our intuition, rather than just solely relying on one person to fix us, to support us, to hold us, kind of thing. So perhaps there's a caution there, just again about relying too much on someone else, or being too cut off from everyone or anything else, because they seem like the most supportive person for you, and they may well be, but don't forget to keep your head below the clouds and your feet grounded on the earth. Moving on to the fourth card there, representing what may be helpful this month. And again, I think interesting that you have a card which we would sort of think typically is a bit of a problematic card in the position of what may be useful. So you have the Five of Wands. So this card typically is about sort of disagreements, about conflict, about kind of like too many cooks in the kitchen. Everyone has ideas and opinions about things, and no one is agreeing. No one's listening to the other person's point of view. Everyone's kind of fighting for themselves, and there's sort of a degree of tension and competition kind of going on. Everyone's kind of lost the main focus and purpose of what they're fighting for, and there's kind of a sense of sort of chaos, really. So no one's really listening to each other. Everyone's disagreeing, and kind of there's not sort of fighting per se, but there's kind of like everyone's just kind of doing their own thing, and you're like, no, what are we doing? You know, there's kind of this sense of chaos and confusion about this card. But this card is in the position of what may be helpful this month. So what it may be suggesting is that if there is some confusion and chaos and sort of conflict, to gather some people around to sort of form a like a little working party about it, or a little committee about something, or going to talk to some sort of entity that it has a group dynamic about it, but can offer you perhaps a different perspective on something. It's a card also in this position suggesting you need to take charge. Somebody does, and really I think it needs to be you. Use your initiative to take charge and create some change, rather than getting caught up in everyone else's opinions or everyone else's points of view about something. It's kind of needing to say, you know, cut through that kind of thing, going, right, there's no leader here. I need to kind of step up in some way. I need to say what I believe in, and I'm going to kind of take the reins here and kind of cut through this chaos and create some more calmness about the situation, or kind of what's going on. You need to do that. Potentially also to just any kind of negative energy around this month, or sort of conflict or difference of opinions, to see it as something that you can somehow gain some use from, rather than just seeing it solely as a negative, despite obviously any stress or tension that it is causing. Also, you know, with conflict, when we're in the middle of something and there's lots of different people involved, it's really hard to get a perspective on that. So perhaps just stepping back a bit and getting a bit of distance from it, a broader perspective on things, may also be very useful and very helpful this month. Finally, the outcome card for the month is Justice. So instantly this tells me, and it's upright, that there is a positive outcome coming to you this month. Justice being served, whether that is actually legal matters, but there is a good legal outcome potentially for you this month. This is a card of balance, of cause and effect, of justice being served, of weighing up things, but essentially about the truth coming out. You know, we cannot hide from, or no one can hide from, the eyes of I guess the universe kind of thing, and all things eventually are known. So there's a sense of fairness about this card. Truth, the law, searching for the truth. You can't hide from the truth. A sense of just rewards coming through. So hopefully you've done something good in the past, and this is about some good outcome happening for you. Otherwise, it can be the reverse, in that if you have not been honest in some way, the truth is going to come out. So I guess you have a choice around what you do about that, and what responsibility you take about that, if that is relevant for you. Again, next to that Five of Wands card there, you know, about needing to take charge. I think this card too is saying be decisive. or a decision is going to be made for you. But if not, you need to make a firm decision here and kind of be the leader, take charge, take that responsibility for yourself. But ultimately, a good outcome and a good and fair outcome is going to occur for you guys this month, which sounds really, really positive on the back of that Tower card, occurring at some point in the past. Finally, I'm just going to read from this book, the Dreamtime Reading Cards book, about that card lying down there called Gumnut Blossom, representing contentment, being about the overall theme for this month. So we'll see if it is relevant at all. Gumnut and contentment. The gumnut tree, or eucalyptus, often blossoms best after a period of harshness. After bushfires or periods of long drought, the gumnut bursts into flower in an assortment of colours. Many of the blossoms smell and taste like honey, and it is because of this that they are often associated with contentment and the sweet things of life. I think that's really interesting. After bushfires or periods of drought or sort of harshness, there's this blooming and blossoming, and I instantly think of that Tower card there. Looks like there's been something very harsh and very dramatic, like a fire. There's fire on that card, but now something sweet is coming forth. The gumnut blossom bursts forth with its message of happiness and contentment. It can symbolise a period of success after a difficult or challenging time. Absolutely, I think we see that with that Justice card there. This is a time to celebrate your success and enjoy a period of light-heartedness and progress. Yippee! Sometimes you can forget to enjoy these periods of contentment and sweetness because you are too busy worrying about what's to come. At this time, the gumnut blossom asks you not to worry about what the future holds, but instead give thanks for the situation you currently find yourself in. Appreciate the people around you, smile and laugh, and share the sweetness of your harvest with those you love. Aww, beautiful, positive reminder of things, and to say you're through the worst of it now. So just ease into a bit of peace and love and harmony. Find those support people around you. Get a bigger perspective. Take charge if you need to. So Pisces, all the best for July. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this reading. I'm really, really grateful. If you've liked it, you know what to do. Otherwise, I'll see you back in August. Take care.